China, the world's second-largest economy, is in crisis. But what's happening behind the scenes could lead to far more than just a financial collapse. Could China's economic meltdown actually push Beijing into war? This is a scenario that could change everything. The stakes are high, and the global consequences could be catastrophic. Stay tuned as we dive deep into China's economic crisis and explore the terrifying possibility that it might push Beijing into an all-out war. Over the last decade, China's economy has skyrocketed. But today its growth is slowing down, and things are looking grim. In 2024, China's GDP growth plummeted to its lowest rate in decades. Unemployment is soaring, and the housing market is on the brink of total collapse. So, what went wrong? China's economy has been heavily reliant on manufacturing and exports for years. But in the face of global trade tensions, particularly with the U.S., China's model is starting to show cracks. The trade war with America has hit China's key industries hard, and the tariffs are only making things worse. But the problem goes even deeper. China's reliance on debt has reached unsustainable levels. Government spending, corporate debt, and the housing bubble have all contributed to the country's economic instability. Many analysts believe China's debt is too large to ever be paid off without catastrophic consequences. As businesses close and job opportunities vanish, unrest is growing inside the country. China has always prided itself on its political stability. But as the economic crisis worsens, cracks are beginning to show. Protests have erupted in multiple cities with citizens demanding the government take action to save the economy. The government has responded with force, using surveillance and crackdowns to stifle dissent. But this instability is not just a domestic problem. China's leaders are increasingly frustrated with their inability to keep the economy afloat. And when a regime feels threatened, it can be dangerous. Could this push China into a military conflict? Throughout history, when nations face economic collapse, they often turn to war as a way to unite the people and restore power. Could China's leadership be considering the same strategy? As the Chinese economy continues to spiral, Beijing has become more aggressive on the international stage. From the South China Sea to Taiwan, China is flexing its muscles. The question is Beijing preparing for something bigger? Could the economic collapse serve as a catalyst for military aggression? While the economy falters, China's military is rapidly expanding. China has become one of the world's most advanced military powers, investing heavily in nuclear weapons, missiles, and cyber warfare. The People's Liberation Army is growing stronger every day, and their military spending has skyrocketed in recent years. In 2024, China's defense budget was over $250 billion, the second largest in the world. They've made huge strides in hypersonic weapons, AI-powered drones, and advanced submarines. While their economic growth stagnates, their military power continues to rise. Could this military buildup be a sign that China is preparing for something bigger? One of the most likely scenarios for conflict is Taiwan. Taiwan has long been a point of tension between the U.S. and China. China has publicly vowed to take control of Taiwan, even if it means going to war. Could a financial collapse push Beijing to launch an invasion of Taiwan? If China does invade Taiwan, the consequences would be devastating for the entire world. The U.S. has a mutual defense treaty with Taiwan, and an attack on Taiwan would likely result in direct conflict with China. Why would China risk starting a war during an economic meltdown? The answer may lie in the economic benefits of controlling Taiwan. Taiwan is home to some of the most important semiconductor manufacturing plants in the world. These chips power everything from smartphones to military equipment. If China could control Taiwan's semiconductor industry, they would dominate the global technology market. This could be an economic lifeline for China, allowing them to secure global power and influence. But what would the world do if China decided to attack Taiwan? The U.S. would likely step in, and a global conflict could ensue. The question is, what would other nations do? Would Europe get involved? How would Russia react? A war over Taiwan could escalate into a worldwide conflict. With global markets already on edge, a conflict in the Taiwan Strait would send shockwaves across the world. The U.S. economy is still recovering from the pandemic, and another war could send it into a recession. China's economic collapse could drag the world into a global recession, and the risk of an all-out world war would be higher than ever. If China falls into chaos and desperation, war might seem like the only option. But the risks are enormous. Not just for China, but for the whole world. A world war would devastate economies, cost millions of lives, and reshape the global order forever. China's economic collapse is real. But will it push Beijing to make a desperate decision? Will they escalate tensions with Taiwan? Could this economic meltdown lead to war? The world is watching, and the stakes have never been higher. The future of China's economy, its leadership, and its place in the world is uncertain. But one thing is clear: China's economic meltdown could lead to something much bigger than a financial crisis. A war that could change the world forever. Stay tuned, because what happens next will shape the future of our world.